You know, San Francisco is a great city for food. There's no shortage of great restaurants. Hey, cut that out. We don't even have time for that today. We have a lot to do. We're driving around to 5 or 6 different bagel shops. I've invited about 52 of my closest friends over. We are gonna have ourselves a little bagel tasting contest. We're gonna try to find us the best bagel in San Francisco.
What is a bagel? Okay, a bagel is boiled dough, boiled bread.
Breakfast, but it's warm and bread. Bread is good. Bread is always good.
It's dense, but also floaty.
So one of the cool things about being the food dude is people talk to you about food. Some of the folks at Bi-Rite were telling me, you gotta check out this kid Danny with sour flour. So this is really strange. We're in the heart of the Mission. We're at a panaderia, which is like a Salvadoran bakery, and we're walking in here to get bagels. Go figure. Now, I never heard about Danny. I never heard about sour flour. We'll see how sour flour does.
It's a piece of dough that's cooked, but I mean, to me, it's just, for me, it's more something you put something on.
I think the most important quality of a bagel is how it will taste with cream cheese and lox and tomato on it.
This is the Bagel Bakery. We're on Townsend, pretty close to AT&T Park. This place is really good, gets very high ratings, and I've sampled them. I like them. I think this one has a potential to be the winner. The only drawback, they're not open on the weekends, which to me is crazy, because bagels are like a Saturday and Sunday kind of food.
It should have a certain color, a certain sheen, a shininess, a almost crackly skin, a skin that crackles.
Crisp on the outside, they got the little crispy bubbles.
Not crispiness, but a certain toughness to the outside, but not too tough. It can't be too chewy. And the inside's got to be just the exact proper mushiness.
And might I add that that is what makes a great bagel, the separation of the outer layer and the inner layer. So this is the House of Bagels in Burlingame. Now, I know the show's called Food Dude San Francisco. Why are you in Burlingame? Secretly, I think these guys are gonna win. If they do win, I expect you guys to drive down to Burlingame and get your bagels from here from now on. So we're on our way to House of Bagels on Geary Boulevard in San Francisco. Even though they all have the same name, they are different.
House of Bagels Geary is privately owned, and they make their own dough. So they're completely different.
A lot of people think House of Bagels in San Francisco is the best bagel in San Francisco, including my buddy Ray. He was like, why are we even gonna have a contest? House of Bagels is gonna win. I said, that's a pretty crappy attitude, my friend.
I think traditionally the best bagels are New York City. I don't think anyone could disagree with that.
It's nice to have a little bit of a flavor from each individual place. And like I said, that's why I like the bagels here in the city.
For me, I'm not convinced. San Francisco, Bay Area, West Coast, whatever you want to say. As far as I'm concerned, you can't really get a good bagel here.
So we're at the Crossroads Cafe. This is on Delancey Street in San Francisco. They get their bagels from H&H Bagels in New York. H&H Bagels constantly is rated one of the top bagels in all of New York. But here's the problem. They ship them cross country and then they finish them off here. And unfortunately, bagels just don't travel well.
It's a quick bread, and it should be eaten sort of soon after it's baked.
You take a bagel and you cut it, and then you put it in the freezer, and then you put cream cheese on it while it's still frozen and put it in a bag. When you eat it later in the day, it's thawed out, and so the cream cheese is still cold, and I think it tastes just as fresh.
I mean, you got to eat them the day they're made. If you wait a day, you're done. You know, there were 2 particular bagels in there that I thought were really good that could hold their own.
Most of them were pretty good. So I'm interested to see where they came from later, like which one is which place.
I narrowed my favorite bagels down to 2 probably, and then I went back and forth between the 2.
Some of the others were all right, but there were 2 particular bagels that really stood out. I think it was A and E.
My favorite was A.
I like to see it feels like a good breakfast.
Well, I like B and A mostly.
I would pick E probably as my choice.
I liked A.
I did. The E was my favorite.
But this was A, and it was really good.
Any losers? I think it was C. I didn't really like it. It seemed really floury and really dense.
I'm not a fan of the wheat bagel, but again, they're not really traditional, and I'm a bagel traditionalist.
No, I don't really think you can go wrong with a bagel.
It's pretty hard. You gotta be pretty bad.
Yeah,
so these were good.
They're all pretty good bagels.
And once you guys are all done voting, I'll tell you where they all came from. A was a place called Bagel Bakery. B is House of Bagels, San Francisco on Geary. C is this guy, Danny, who does something called sour flour. D is imported all the way from New York City. They are H&H Bagels via the Crossroads Cafe. And lastly, E is House of Bagels, Burlingame. Good evening and welcome to Bagel Talk.
I don't think Bagel Talk would be a good nighttime show.
All right, hey, so that was a blast. It turned out really well.
It was really fun, a lot of nice people.
We have your ballots. They've been tallied. This is the results. All right, the winner is sample A, the Bagel Bakery.
Really?
We chose you as the winner.
Our bagel?
Bagel Bakery,
Wow.
number 1.
That's cool.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You want to sit down? Are you okay?
Yeah, I think I'm all right. So we use the House of Bagels dough that they make in Burlingame.
Really?
And so they send us the dough with all the good stuff in it, the bagels formed, ready to go, and then we boil them and bake them here.
You love them, except they're not open on the weekends.
If we get enough people begging us to be open, then we'll seriously consider it.
I'm curious what people have to say about the bagels.
As soon as I finish chewing, I'll tell you. The thing that was interesting to me was that every bagel was somebody's favorite. This is how the bagels finished. In first place, the Bagel Bakery. Yeah, and remind me, never let anybody get away with this decimal point BS again.
That was the teenagers.
That was you.
God love them.
Coming in at second place, House of Bagels, Burlingame. Coming in third place, House of Bagels on Geary in San Francisco. Third place was our buddy Danny with sour flour. And then bringing up the rear, unfortunately,
H&H.
H&H, imported all the way from New York through the Crossroads Cafe.
And I think the reason they ended up on the bottom was just the freshness of it. So I'm going to give them a break.
So look, we're a small show, limited budget, limited time. Obviously, there's a bunch of different bagel places we didn't get to in San Francisco. Have your own bagel tasting battle with you and your friends. Go to Bagel Bakery, which was our winner, pick up some of theirs, then go to your favorite place and then have your own bagel battle royale.
Hey, can we do this again?
Yeah, we can do this again with bagels.
Pizza.
Ooh. It could get really expensive.
It could get expensive.
Could you chip in some money this time?
I'll executive produce, okay? I'll match your dollars, okay?
Well, that'd be a first, okay. So from everybody here at Bagel Central, it's the Food Dudes wishing you a fond farewell.
Adieu.
But no discussion about bagels would be complete without at least mentioning Noah's Bagels. Noah's makes round bread. They do not make bagels. Don't just use the word New York to sell your bagel. Attempt to make a realistic bagel. Boil it. If it's soft and mushy and it's just bread in a round shape, that ain't a New York bagel, my friend. And frankly, not as good.